The text is returned exactly as requested. The story of the youngest brother is proof that love and filial piety are the most precious assets in life. Although he initially gave up his inheritance to care for his mother, in the end, he received a far greater reward. The story teaches us that blessings do not come from material wealth, but from sincere actions and gratitude. When we live for others, especially by respecting and caring for our parents, life will grant us wonderful rewards. The youngest brother did not seek riches, but because of his filial piety and kind heart, he was rewarded accordingly. Furthermore, the story highlights a profound lesson. Wealth may disappear, but love and kindness will always bring lasting value. When we prioritize relationships over personal gain, we receive rewards that, while not always in the form of gold and silver, bring true happiness and peace of mind. Ultimately, the story affirms that true happiness does not come from money, but from love, gratitude, and sharing. When we live with kindness, life will respond with unexpected blessings. Thinking about this, he came up with an idea and proposed to his brothers. Let me take on the responsibility of caring for our mother for life. In return, I will give up my entire share of the inheritance. In a small village, 4 brothers lived together after their father passed away. They decided to equally divide the land and house left behind. After dividing the property, they agreed that their mother would take turns living with each of them for 1 month at a time. However, the youngest brother, a kind and filial young man, was not satisfied with this decision. He worried that his brothers might not take good care of their mother and that she would not be properly looked after. The 3 older brothers were overjoyed to hear his proposal. They thought their youngest brother was foolish for giving up land and a house just to take care of their mother. To them, it was a beneficial deal. They gained more assets and were relieved of the responsibility of caring for their elderly mother. Therefore, they quickly agreed and left their mother in the care of the youngest brother. From then on, the youngest brother and his wife moved into a small hut he owned. Despite their simple life, he devoted himself wholeheartedly to caring for his mother. Each day, he gave her all his love and attention, considering it the greatest happiness of his life. The youngest brother and his wife lived in a humble hut and devoted themselves to caring for his elderly mother. Though they had no wealth, he always ensured that she was well taken care of, providing for her meals and comfort. As time passed, his mother passed away peacefully, surrounded by her son's love and care. After properly arranging the funeral, his wife sorrowfully said, "Mother is gone now, and we have nothing left." But he remained calm and replied, "I gave up my inheritance to care for my mother because I believe that filial piety brings blessings." That night, he dreamed of a treasure filled with thousands of gold coins. But when he asked if they carried blessings, a voice answered, "No." So he refused the treasure. His wife did not understand and scolded him for being foolish, but he only smiled and said, "I only want what brings true blessings." On the second night, the youngest brother dreamed of another treasure, this time with 100 gold coins. A voice said, "If you wish, I will show you where to find this gold." Again, he asked, "Will it bring blessings?" When the voice answered no, he refused once more. The text is returned exactly as requested. The next morning, he told his wife about his dream. Upon hearing it, she angrily said, "You rejected 1,000 gold coins, and now you reject 100. We are so poor, how can you refuse them?" But he remained steadfast, saying, "I only want what brings true blessings." On the third night, he dreamed of 2 gold coins. When he asked, the voice confirmed, "These bring blessings." This time, he accepted and was guided to a tree in the forest where the treasure was hidden. The next morning, he told his wife about the dream and immediately went into the forest. There, he found the 2 gold coins just as the dream had revealed. When he returned home, his wife suggested using 1 coin to buy food after their long period of poverty. He agreed and asked what she wanted to eat. She replied, "I crave fish." So he took 1 gold coin to the market and bought a large fish. The youngest brother took a gold coin to the market and bought a large fish as his wife had requested. When he brought it home, his wife happily began cleaning it to prepare a meal. However, as she cut the fish open, she was astonished to find two radiant pearls inside. Unable to believe her eyes, she quickly kept the pearls safe and waited for her husband to return to tell him the unbelievable news. When he returned from gathering firewood, his wife excitedly told him about the miraculous discovery. He was also amazed and decided to take one pearl to the jeweler in the city to determine its value. The jeweler examined the pearl with awe, stating that it was extremely valuable but beyond his ability to purchase. He advised the youngest brother to present it to the king, as only royalty could truly appreciate such a treasure and offer a worthy reward. Following the advice, the youngest brother immediately set out for the royal palace, filled with hope that this miraculous event would change his fate. The youngest brother presented the pearl to the king and shared his story. Deeply moved by his filial devotion, the king carefully examined the pearl and recognized it as a rare and priceless gem. The king said, "This pearl is invaluable, but to reward you properly, bring me the second one. When both are together, I will grant you a worthy reward." The youngest brother hurried home to retrieve the second pearl and presented it to the king. Seeing the pair of precious pearls, the king was pleased. He decided to grant the youngest brother a generous reward for his honesty and filial devotion. The king ordered his officials to prepare 4 donkeys, each carrying loads of gold as a reward for the youngest brother. Furthermore, he assigned 2 guards to escort him safely back home. Upon returning, he joyfully shared the news with his wife. He said, "You see, this is the blessing that my mother left for us. When we are filial and place love above material wealth, life rewards us in unexpected ways." The youngest brother's story became a cherished lesson for everyone in the village about filial piety and the power of kindness in life. The youngest brother's story not only brought him a fulfilling ending, but also left a profound lesson on filial piety and the value of love. After receiving the king's generous reward, the youngest brother returned home with 4 donkeys loaded with gold. Seeing the immense fortune before them, his wife was overwhelmed with joy. He smiled and said, "This is my mother's blessing. We are not rich because of wealth, but because of love and filial devotion." His story quickly spread throughout the village. Those who once thought he was foolish for giving up his land and house to care for his mother now changed their perspective. They realized that true wealth does not lie in material possessions, but in love and gratitude towards parents. This story teaches us that when we live with filial piety and prioritize love and responsibility over personal gain, life will grant us unexpected rewards. The youngest brother did not seek riches, but through sincerity and filial devotion, he received a blessing greater than any treasure. Ultimately, the lesson is clear. Love and filial piety are priceless assets. When we cherish those who raised us, life responds with miracles that money cannot buy.